fixin' for another big game? Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 14 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys run up the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Set! 230!
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
230. 20 seconds.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Sutton now to return. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still third down
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Ben on third and long. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they work this out past the 25.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage that's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
After the penalty, it's Bell. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Here's a give to Mixon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground if they want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And caught, right side, Green. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And the pitch goes to Mixon. Powers through. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Now they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team, get them going in one direction, and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
To the left side here for Eifert. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Mixon with a first down carry. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On second down, here's Mixon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Watch him now, Barney.
He'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. T.J. Watt with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. This Pittsburgh defense always keeping the offensive line on their toes, or I guess on their heels and back.
They are certainly about pressure, aren't they? At 56 sacks as a unit in 2017, which led the NFL. They certainly live up to their nickname, which is Blitzburg.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Bell, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Bengals grab it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Watch it now, Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw to Mixon on the check down. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. In for the score, and the Bengals add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the rout is on here in this first half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. James has got it. Complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On second down, it's Bell. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Now here's Ross. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Flushed out right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
A handoff to Mixon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Bengals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Over!
Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep. And it's caught inside the 10. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll come out throwing here on first down, eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Leopard!
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Running left, it's Mixon. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play there for the Bengals. 49 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Like 30.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a first down. I think their fans are saying, hey, where's that Roethlisberger to Brown connection been in this one?
First time they get together is in the second half. I don't think any of us would have predicted that going in because we know how valuable that is to their offense. And that could be a big reason why they're not winning right now.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
And the Steelers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This will be caught by Brown. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now it's counter, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Give him 14 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot!
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. This one complete. Right side to McDonald. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
And he's right there on the doorstep now. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flushed out right. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
I think that interception happened for 2. Reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open. Got
to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On second down, Roethlisberger to the sideline. Oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. Roethlisberger to his big target, James. All 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A screen to Bell. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but it must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Back to throw here. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
One last shot for Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Bengals, Their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.